I'm Corbett Wall with DV Auction, here with your feeder flash for Tuesday, July the 2nd. This will be the last feeder flash until next week, till after the 4th, as almost everything is shut down. The entire Southeast is shut down for the 4th of July midsummer break there. Most of your regular sales are going to be closed for the remainder of the week. We did have some big sales on Monday. We'll touch on those here in this report, and then you guys will kind of be on your own to enjoy your family and cooking out steaks and having a good time practicing patriotism and fireworks and everything that goes along with 4th of July Independence Day. But one place that we still got business to do is right here in Quapaw, Oklahoma, at Downstream Casino for the Big Bang Auction, Primetime Livestock's video auction here on July the 2nd on Tuesday. I hope a lot of you guys come out, and that's where I'm going to be here watching this sale and taking online bids for DV Auction. Let's talk about the board on Monday. August live cattle futures down a quarter at 104.10. October up 10 cents at 105 1/4. Your out fronts were higher yet, so they were higher and progressively higher as you went off into the future, off into next year. August feeder cattle up 17 cents at 137.02. September up 92 cents at 137.62. And again, on your feeder cattle, your out fronts were higher yet and progressively higher as you moved off out into the future. Weighted average on last week's fat cattle trade on 72,800 head, which is not near what we need to be selling. We need to be selling closer to 100,000 to kind of keep up on our negotiated sales, but it might have been a little better than a lot of us thought when through Thursday we'd only sold about 10,000 head, and Friday didn't seem like a big gate swinger, but they did get up to 72,800 head. That compares to last week's sales of 86,700 head in your 5 area negotiated sales, and a year ago at 110,700 head. But let's look at your prices on a live basis. Most of your live sales out of the feedlots in the 5 area region on a negotiated basis were 108 to 112 1/4. Your weighted average on those live steer sales was 110.13. That was down just 35 cents from the previous week, so not horrible. And we talked about on the last visit how those sales were kind of unevenly steady. Your dress sales, a little bit more loss there, but not terrible either. But dress sales on your steers in the 5 area feeding region ranged mostly from 173 to 180. We didn't get any of that on top of 80, maybe one deal here, one deal there, but for the most part 180 topped your dress sales on steers and heifers. But on your weighted average in the 5 area feeding region, negotiated dress steers 179.02. That's down $1.37 from the previous week's weighted average. Like I said, here at Downstream Casino, Quapaw, Oklahoma, just west on I-44 from Joplin. And we're having the Primetime Livestock video, the Big Bang sale. It's our biggest sale of the year, right around the 4th of July here every year, and expecting 50,000 head. Hope we have a good crowd here. Who says there's no free lunch, guys? If you're in the 4-state area, come on out to the sale. If you can't make it to the sale, I encourage you to get online at Primetime Livestock's website and tie into the sale and watch it there, or log on to DV Auction and you can pick up our feed right there of the Big Bang sale for Primetime. But who says there's no free lunch? Talk to Jeff Shane. He's with Beringer Ingelheim. He and ADM are sponsoring the lunch at 11:30 right here at Downstream Casino. Guys, come in here and enjoy a nice lunch at 11:30. Then the sale starts at 1 p.m. They'll be right on those cattle and they'll roll right through them. But expecting a pretty snappy sale there, and if you can show up for the free lunch, that would be great. Jeff told me he'll have plenty of Zactran caps and sorting flags for those of you that would like to have one. Let's talk about some other things going on. How about this fake meat deal? I'll try to keep you guys up. We haven't had a little update on the last of that. Seems like the shines may be coming off of it just a little bit, and we expected that, but it's still fun to watch as it starts to come around. Greg Henderson, a friend of mine with Drovers there, had a nice article about how a University of California professor, He said that both your main products in your fake meat industry are Impossible Burger and Beyond Beef Burger. Both of those alternative proteins have ingredients that are quite similar to those found in dog food. And so if that's kind of what you'd like to eat, get you a fake meat burger there from one of those two products, and just filled with sodium and all kinds of fillers to make you think you're eating beef. And hopefully if you're not any smarter than a dog, it'll pass off and you can throw one of those on your grill. The rest of us will be eating real meat steaks and hamburgers. Let's talk about your feeder cattle market. How about your real-time index on Cattle Market Central? Late in the day on Monday, sitting at 135.24, up another $1.16 from the end of last week. This market's coming up on these yearlings, guys, as we start to get into these green yearlings coming off grass. Your feedlots want them. It's starting to get pretty competitive out there, even in the country. Going to be competitive here on this video sale, and the scores of big video auctions that'll be happening here over the next 2 weeks, including Superior's big sale, Western's big sale, Cattle Country's got a sale, Northern Livestock's got a sale. But all these feedlots want to fill their pens with these green grass yearlings that will absolutely perform better than you can have any other time of the year, and have that outstanding weight gain and something you can kind of bet on the come on, and they will grow into a break even and hopefully into a pretty good profit. But that 135.24 on your real-time index compares to your latest CME feeder cattle cash index that came out on Friday, for Friday the 28th, at 133.44. Of course, they had a lot of those cheap directs dumped in there from the corporates, and then that sucks them back a little bit. And without any big sales going on, it might be hard to get those back up to where they ought to be here before we get into the week after the 4th of July. But not many big sales going to be going on over the 4th here as we pass on past Monday, because they're getting so close to the 4th. You know, those cattle have to be processed when they get to the feedlots or wherever they're going. Those people like to take time and enjoy the holiday with their family too. So, you know, it's a little bit hard to have a big sale. But one of your auctions in the Midwest that always has a big special around the 4th of July is Green City Livestock Market. They'll have the best cattle you can find anywhere, and the condition and the flesh on those cattle will be second to none. They're expecting around 4,000 head on Wednesday for their big special 4th of July sale, and they'll be the best cattle anywhere. And those that want to take off and go to that sale on the day before 4th of July and then ship them where they land sometime around the 4th, they will be getting something pretty fancy right there at Green City Livestock Market. But not many other sales going to be going on during the middle of the week anyway. Let's talk about your Monday sales. Oklahoma National Stockyards in Oklahoma City went ahead and had a sale. Those guys are still hungry. 5,500 head in Oklahoma City had a good sale despite it being on a holiday week. Feeder steers $2 to $4 higher. Feeder heifers $1 to $3 higher. Even had a decent test on a light run on your calves, which were steady to $5 higher. But I'm telling you guys, this thing's kind of coming to its milk here. And as we get into these big videos, as the guys start competing for these double stock cattle off the Flint Hills and the Osage, and we start getting ready for later deliveries in the summer, this market's going to start coming to it strictly on demand side, because that is what they want to fill those pens with, is these outstanding green yearlings that will absolutely turn a flip when they get into the feedlot. Likely your market is going to be higher as we get in to the week after the holidays, because the guys will come back fresh from a break, and they'll be ready to really start tying into these cattle. So you might want to get in on some of these cattle here at the Big Bang sale at Primetime Livestock, as we're kind of in the transition period right now. Joplin Regional Stockyards, we talked about the big special that they had a week ago Monday, where they had over 10,000 head of those hard yearling cattle, and they sold on a higher market, and we talked about all that. Then they came back on Thursday with a weanback sale, had a lot of fall-born calves, and getting into that feeder cattle weight because they performed so well, and those cattle did good. Another 6,000 of those come back on this regular sale on Monday before their big video. Another 6,000 head of feeder cattle with a lot of good yearlings on there. Rick Huffman, glad to see him. Got to talk to him. Used to work closely with him. He's the market man for the Missouri Department of Agriculture there. Always a conservative call from him, and he called the market steady to $3 higher on all classes, except for some Pee-wee heifer calves weighing under 500 pounds. Said they was $2 to $4 lower. But an individual quote out of Joplin that I got to see there on Monday: 65 head of 837-pound yearling steers in Joplin bring $138.50. That's your feeder flash for Tuesday.